Gene's going to kick it off tonight. You're going to love this. So without further ado, help Gene Frederick, everybody.
How do I look? How do I look in here? Aaron, do I look good here? Okay. Here's what we're going to do tonight. And just to preview, tomorrow we'll be on the boat, right? The Naughty Nickel. And I'm going to redo, if you've never seen my napkin presentation about RevShare, I've redone it. I actually did it this morning, but I need the boards. So we'll have the boards over there. And you guys can film me tomorrow doing that. Because I think I've had more views on that than anything. Because you need a real quick way you can show people RevShare without showing them a calculator or without showing them the 13-minute video, quite honestly. It's good, but you need something that you guys can show them really quick. Okay, so I'll do that for tomorrow. But today, what I want to do, how was Jay last night? Was he phenomenal? Yeah. Oh, my God. So here's what I want to do. I want to bring it into focus for you and get into nuts and bolts. Because he gave you a lot of stuff. But how many people right now are making at least $10,000 a month in RevShare? Raise your hand. Okay, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, $20,000 a month. Okay, 50. There's a couple. 100. There's a couple. Right? Okay, it's doable for everybody, right? Yeah. Now, here's what I want you to think of right now, and think to yourselves, why aren't you doing that? Or what's keeping you from doing that? Because I think what's happening is you don't have a game plan. You really just don't have a game plan. I really do. I'm going to give you a couple game plans I've given people through the years that work. Okay? Oh, God bless them. Sure. Let's get all that food in here first. God bless them. And I want this to be interactive, so you guys, wait, this is working or this isn't working. Because what I'll do tonight is I'd rather lead it. I mean, I can go do 30 minutes on almost everything. If you've ever seen me talk, it's not good. But when I say that, I've got so much to give, but I want you guys to tell me what you want to hear. If you guys tell me that, I can go off. Yes, I'm going to give you something that, here's how I want you to think. Here's the reason you don't do it. Holly or whatever. Forever, I've taught it wrong. You sell real estate. In fact, you do really well at selling real estate. So you come to EXP and what do? Sell real estate. It's where you make your money. You sell a home, average sales price $400,000 in the United States, 3%. You get 12 grand, you feel good, you go to the next sale, the next sale. And I sold 120 homes a year, 3 years in a row when I was selling at a high level. So I understand that's what I do well. The problem is what I've been teaching you forever. I've been trying to get you to recruit agents. And you go, that's out of my comfort zone. That's what you're doing. You're actually saying, oh crap, I got to learn a new skill. I'm going to tell you right now, you don't. You don't have to learn anything new. This is the way I'm teaching it now. It's one funnel. It's one funnel. In other words, when you're making sales, who do you interact with when you're making sales? Agents, right? Okay. It's one funnel. Quit thinking of it as two funnels. Don't put them on a separate piece of paper. I want you to have just one funnel. And this is where you're going wrong. Right? So I'm going to show you that, in other words, I just realized this when I was at EXPCon. We've been teaching it wrong. It's just one funnel. So do you guys have a checklist when you sell a home? What's it look like? Right? Do you guys have those? I know my wife did, right? Inspection, contract. Well, okay, you're going to have checklists to contact to say something to the agent. That's just as part of the part of your daily work. That's what we're going to do now from now on. It's not two funnels. That's where we've been going wrong. I just realized it's really wrong. Now, Lee Lamont was the #1 agent for Coldwell Banker for 17 years in Dallas, Fort Worth. I tried to recruit him when I was at Keller Williams. We finally got him over to EXP 2 years ago. Okay, he's been with us 2 years. He's the #1 agent in downtown Dallas. Guess what? He's never recruited anybody. When I shared this with him at EXPCon, I said, Lee, I don't want you to be a recruiter. I just want you to have a checklist and you funnel it in and you do it. He goes, Gene, I can leave right now. Finally, you hit me with what I should be doing. Quit thinking of it as a separate skill set. It's not. It's not. All right? So let me give you a checklist, what you're going to have on your checklist. In other words, now it's just a funnel rather than something separate. 3 days after closing, write this down. 3 days after closing, you call the other agent. You go, Holly, oh, it was awesome. Thank you so much for helping me. You know, by the way, I know we struggled on that one, but man, you know what, Holly? It's really weird. I never got to meet you. I mean, how many times do you actually meet somebody in person on a transaction, right? And I've got a small, and here's what I want you to say. I've been using this script forever. I have a small gift of appreciation that I want to give you for a job well done. Next Tuesday at 8:30, I've got that gift. Let's meet at Starbucks for 15 minutes. Got it? 3 days after closing. Not at closing, not before closing, after closing, right? What do you do when you show up at Starbucks? Guess what you do? Give them the gift. I don't care what the gift is. It could be a new book. It's a new book that you just read that you thought was awesome, or you just saw somebody at EXPCon and you got the book. And I'm coming out with a book next year. That's the one you'll be giving out next year. It's next October. My first book, seriously. And I'm delaying the thing because after the election. But it will be out next year, and it'll be a top seller because guess what? Now you'll have the EXP book to give to people and go, you know, this is how we've grown. Now when I say that, I taught Trey Williams this. He was with Keller Williams for 9 years, #1 agent in Dallas, Fort Worth, 9 years, never recruited a soul. And I gave him this. I said, here's what I want you to do. Guess what he did? First time, calls up this couple, and he's at Starbucks. He calls me, he says, Gene, they want to know about Keller Williams. And I said, well, Trey, you've been not talking about us for 9 years. He goes, I know, I don't know what to say. I said, don't say anything. Just set me up an appointment. They were the #1 husband and wife team for Ebby Holiday in all of Dallas, which is a big firm. They joined a week later. He did one transaction with them. He didn't know them personally. He just gave them a thank you. What do you get from that? Come at me. What do you get from that? Come on. It's interactive because
Credibility.
What?
Credibility.
What else? Gratitude. When's the last time somebody called you up and said thanks for doing a great training, even if it was a tough one?
Never. Yeah.
Do you guys get one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In other words, just even the thought of giving them a gift is beautiful. What else? What else when I told Trey, you know, you hadn't been doing it for 9 years, now you did it one time. What? Thank you. Thank you. He didn't know them. You all think you have to be in a relationship with people. You don't have to be in a relationship with anybody but for one transaction, and you never even meet them. Nowadays, I know how you guys work. Email, Zoom, boom, boom, whatever. You don't even meet the agents anymore, right? Boy, you meet an agent nowadays, they're going to go, Ma, Veronica, I thought you were 8 feet tall. Ooh, you know, I get on Zooms. I know I get on Zooms with people, and I always tell, you can use this one. But when I get on Zooms, I go, you know, you look this big, large, but in person, I'm really good looking. And the women laugh. The guys just think I'm creepy. But I said, I'm really good looking in person. Now, when I say that, because it's fun, I use my personality because that's me. Don't be anybody but you. Write it down. Don't be anybody but you. I can't be Brent. I mean, I've seen Brent talk forever, and I just can't lay on the ground and, right? I can do impersonations of Brent, but I can't be Brent. It's Brent's his person. He feels it, and I'm the same way. I'm really funny on Zooms. When I say that, it's just me. I could show you my high school yearbook up there, and it says, oh, you were the funny, you know, you were always made me laugh. I don't know what it is, but that's just me. So if I can't make someone laugh on a Zoom or whatever, then it's not me. So if you're serious and you like to work with Facebook or Zoom, and you're a techie, please be that person. Because they're going to connect with you. My son said this the other day, I almost cried. He said, Dad, he's 42 years old, he says, you're authentic.
Good.
He said, you're authentic. Isn't that what you want to hear from your kid? You don't want to hear anything but you're authentic, right? As goofy as I am, right? So that's the Trey Williams story. Now, Trey went on to recruit tons of people. He's now with EXP, and I just talked to him today. He's got 208 people in his rev share. He wants to take it to 250 because I taught him a system. He's an ex-engineer. So he says, Gene, just give me a system. I'll work the system. Right, Lars? Just give me a system. Work the system. So I want you guys you have a system to sell homes. I want you to funnel this recruiting. I call it recruiting. You call it attraction, but I only wanted to attract one person, and she's in the other room. So I like recruiting. I like the word recruiting because I have no problem recruiting people because guess what?
There she is.
Does that make sense? Hi, honey bunch. Yeah. Sheena.
He said you were attractive.
Yeah, I just wanted to attract her. So anyway, 30 years next year. We've been married. So here's what I thought. I pictured this funnel. I actually drew a funnel on my deal, and I went, you know, from now on, it's just a checklist. It's a system. So whatever system you've got, in other words, now here's the cool part. That's for sales and attraction. If you get an offer on a place and it doesn't work, but you worked an offer with an agent, where are you going to put them? In the funnel. In the funnel. Doesn't go separate days. It goes in the funnel. So now you have a funnel of, I have agents that they made offers on my place, but it didn't work. And you go, okay, here's what I'm going to do with that funnel. See what I'm getting at now? Now you're not off doing other stuff. Because Lee Lamont said, well, how much time should I do this? And I said, well, you know, it's all one funnel now. Quit thinking of it as two jobs. That's why you don't do it. I just realized that just 2 weeks ago at EXPCon. Does that help you guys a little bit?
Yeah.
The other thing is you don't have to have any relationship with agents. I hate the word relationship because I hear it all the time. Well, you know, I don't sell that many homes. I don't sell luxury homes, or I don't sell, I don't know teams, and I can't talk to those agents. Maria's just got in the business. I can't talk to agents. I haven't sold that many homes. Stop it. Stop it. They don't even know how many homes they don't even know how long you've been in the business. They don't know how many homes you've sold. Nobody has asked me how many homes I've sold. Ever, ever, ever. Because it's all about them. Okay? Let me tell you when I mean it's all about them. You need to pretend, and with the enthusiasm that this man has over here, that you have the cure for cancer, real estate cancer. If you had the cure for cancer, would you not share it with everybody? I have the cure for real estate agents' cancer. They're not going to make it through this downturn if they don't come with us. If I can't teach them to get a few people, they're not going to be able to make it. Do you guys know if you had an extra $500 a year, $500 a year, like 50% of the bankruptcies in America go away? 500 extra bucks to a person and they don't go bankrupt. Once you understand that, you go, because most agents do what? They make money selling what? Homes, just like I talked to you about. But we got extra income. We got this thing. Do you guys know how much it is a year? You don't know? You don't share it with them? We're going to give out $200 million this year in rev share. We're going to give out $50 million in equity. That's $250 million. Here's how I tell people. I said in the next 4 years, we're going to give out $1 billion in equity and rev share that normally goes to your owner. and I'll say their name. If they're with RE/MAX, I'll say Dave Linegar. Said Dave Linegar's getting the $1 billion, and the owners of the offices are getting the $1 billion. And at Keller Williams, Gary Keller's getting the $1 billion, blah, blah, blah. And I name the owners. And then they go, what? And I go, it's there for them. They just don't give it to you. But with us, guess what we do? We have a chance to get it. And I want to share that with you, how you can do that. Is that okay with you? And they go, yeah. And I said, next 4 years, $1 billion. The next 3 years, $1 billion. I think in the next 7 years, we'll give out $2 billion. And I just speak like that to them. That's my elevator speech when I talk to people. I said, in the next 7 years, we're going to give out $2 billion in revenue share and equity. And I tell you what, your company's getting it. They're just not giving it to you. Their owners are getting it. Is that good? All right? You got to have elevator speeches. And you got to say, I want to help you. I talk to agents as if they're my brothers and sisters, and they're part of my family. I love all real estate agents. I don't care what you say, I do. We're selling real estate with them. Come on. I love those dudes, man. And I don't want them to go under. I tell them I don't want them to go under. But dang it, they have Montgomery Wards and J.C. Penney's. And God, it's unfortunate. They're just at the wrong place to sell. Right? Okay. How are you going to lead generate? Okay. Now, in real estate, what do you do in your funnel every day? Do you have examples of how you lead generate? I know you got all your accounts with the big team. But do you guys know how to lead generate for sales? Okay, so what you're going to have in your funnel is lead generating for sales, and you're going to have lead generating for agents. Right? I want you to have one funnel. Quit thinking of it as two things. So what's the best way to lead generate in this market? How are you going to do it?
Get on the damn phone.
Yeah, phone call. Tom Ferry, right? Coming to Cabo. And what's that?
Media. YouTube.
YouTube, social media, right? Huge, right? Huge. I know you're doing that. We talked about it yesterday, right? What else?
Invite them to events.
Invite them to events. But you got to find the agent first. So how do you find that agent first?
Transactions. Yeah.
Transactions. We just talked about it. We just talked about it. And you don't, if you sell 50 homes a year, you probably have 10 offers on each home that don't work. 10 times 50, that's 500. We got 500 agents. You could go to happy hours. You could go to 30 under 30 or whatever. Or women, what is that, Women's Council of Realtors? Yes. Yeah, I used to go to that one just to pick up chicks. So anyway, no, I'm just kidding. Susan was the president of Women's Council of Realtors. But you know what I mean. Okay, so what else? You gotta have a game plan to lead generate. You haven't named my one that I do all the time, that me and Rob Flick probably did more than anybody. Me and Rob built KW as well as this company. Vendors. Write it down. Vendors. Mortgage people, title people, insurance, whatever. I would go to them and I'd go, man, this is no big deal to me. I'd call my title person. Where's my title person? Right there. You know, I'd call her and I'd say, oh my gosh, who's the movers and shakers? It's hard to follow this market. It's crazy. Well, you know who the mover shakers? They're usually Maria. They're usually the ones that are brand new. They've been in the business 8 months. They don't even know it's a down market, and they're going crazy. And they're at Century 21 or someplace you'd never imagine. I go, oh, you're kidding. Who's she? And then I'd call Maria. I said, Maria, I heard you come. Man, everybody I talk to, you're killing it. Can we have coffee and we can share what's going on in the market? I just want to pick your brain. Boom, shakalaka. I started Keller Williams offices like that. I would go to the title company in a town I did not know, and I would say, give me the movers and shakers. I actually started offices like that. And you go, what do you mean? I'd get the list. If you go to one title company, they give you a list of names. You go to the other title company, you give a list of names. Guess what? They're all the same. They're all the same. And then I always ask them, too, who should I not call? Right? And then, you know, Randy's name comes up, you know. Don't call Randy Bird. No. Okay, so we've got vendors, we've got social media, we have phone calls. What else? What else? Rob Flick would go to open houses. He came to Dallas, didn't know anybody. He says, Gene, this is the easiest thing I've done. I just go to open houses, meet agents all day long. I look for people with energy. Rob says, if they don't have good energy and don't greet me well, I go to the next person. What else? NAR? Conferences. I'll tell you what he said yesterday, you should have written it down. You go to 10X. You go to Tony Robbins. You go to those events. There are 2 million realtors from all across the nation. I would go to those. By the way, don't go to ones in your area. This is a big key. I would not go to one. So if I lived in Dallas, I'd go to one in Houston. If I live in Orlando, I'd go to one in Miami. Why? Because everybody knows you in Orlando. You go to Miami, and you know what I'm saying is you're meeting other agents because you go, everybody's been called in my area. Well, go to another area. Okay? So first of all, the whole thing in life is to lead generate. That's why part of my book, that's one of my chapters. I've taught lead generation on sales forever. Now I'm going to teach you lead generation on what? Agents. Okay? So what are we going to invite them to? By the way, in lead generation, write this down. FU wins the game. Follow up wins the game. Whoever FU's the best wins the game. And again, it's a checklist, right? Lars, you're going to create the checklist. Okay, I contacted them, boom, boom, boom. Rather than having a separate thing, you're going to go, every month I'm going to text all the agents that I've been in business with, and I'm going to wish them well for Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever. I mean, it's a follow-up, right? Everybody, you guys get too worried if you're a high S or a high C. You get too worried about what the follow-up is. It can be anything. Stop it. You're thinking too hard. Just text them, text them, text them. You know, but if you're social media, you're social medium, right? I would use the medium that I like. Just so you know, I'm a texter, as you guys know that. If you don't, Lars has texted me before. If you text me, you get me. If you email me, it's the dark hole of email. I have not done email since 2018. I gave up on it. I don't do Facebook. I don't do LinkedIn. Everybody's like, okay, but, and I go, dudes, you don't know me. You know, you text me, I get back to you that day. I'm old school. I will answer every single text. Okay? So, what are we going to invite them to? Now you become an inviter, right? What are you going to invite them to? Shout it out. Cabo, Masterminds, EXPCon of all the events you can have in your local area. Events. Lunch and learns. I think we got away from them because of COVID. I love live lunch and learns. I really think when I went and saw Brent do them, oh my gosh, they were killer in Sacramento. He'd have one at 9 o'clock, one at noon. And when at 9 o'clock, he'd have it in a small room like this, and they'd have somebody outside the door going, oh, they're packed. You can't come. You got to come back at noon. Get a small room.
We renamed it during COVID. Lunch and spreads.
So anyway, we did ours at David McMillan's mortgage office for free, and I couldn't fit 20 people in there. Yeah. And there was one entrance, and so if it got packed, come back tomorrow. So I think we got away from it because of COVID. We should go back to it. And of course, you guys know the three-way calls are the bomb. The bomb. If you don't have somebody, you can use this all. You guys know when I spoke at the convention, I spoke in front of 500 people at convention, and I said, here's my cell number. You can use me for a three-way call. One person contacted me. There were 500 people in the room. It's just life. I give out my cell phone all the time, and nobody uses me. It's 703-338-1515. I'm available late afternoons after golf, after beating Brent and Randy. But I'm serious about this. I want to do them. I don't want to explain EXP anymore. I'm past that. I'm the closer. You want to use me? Oh, if we could get this guy on the line, it's unbelievable. You know, you pump me up way past what I am, but that way, when I get on, I can do my thing. You'll see it, and you put me on and be quiet. That's what three-way calls are. You put me on, put yourself on mute, and watch what I do, because I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, go to my YouTube channel, watch Casey Jihad do how to set up a three-way call. It's the best there is.
Brent Gove Tahoe Mastermind 2021, Section 2.
That's amazing.
Guys, you got to watch that. It's unbelievable. So the last thing I do as an agent, as a recruiter, is I negotiate the transition. What I mean by that is the minute they start saying, well, you know, let me give you an example. I got to tell you this story because I love Jeff Willems. Once you meet Jeff and Marcy, they're awesome. But Jeff, if you know Jeff, because he's my best buddy, that I'm in my backyard in Austin, Texas, and I'm putting one-handed. Did I ever tell you this story? And it's a true story, and I didn't have earplugs back then. So I'm holding the phone like this, and I'm putting one-handed. And I'm saying, Jeff, you know, and he goes, we can't move. We're the #1 agents in Tucson. We have a TV show. We have signs. We're the #1. It would cost us $150,000 to move to EXP. Billboards. There's no way this is going to be a problem. He went off. If you know Jeff, I love Jeff, because he went off for 20 minutes, right? I'm not saying a word. No, seriously. I'm just putting in my backyard one-handed. I had a putting green. And I said, Jeff, can I talk? He goes, yeah. And I said, first to market wins the game. God dang it, Gene, I knew you would say something like that. God dang it. We talked for another hour. Nobody was in Tucson. First to market wins the game. It was so perfect. And then we talked for another hour. You can get rid of everything with knowing what to say at the right time. But when I tell you that, it's all about them, not about you. And if you try to, when people bring objections to me, first of all, there usually aren't objections. I don't usually do objections because there's not any when I explain the model right? Everybody goes, what do you say when they say this? I said, I don't know. I don't hear that very often. I think it's funny when I hear that, you know. If you do it right, okay, it's all about them. They don't know how many kids I have or grandkids I have or anything. I know how many kids they have. I know their dog's name. I know everything about them. I make it very, very personal, right? So when you meet them to thank them, ask them about their family. Where they see themselves in the next 3 years. Where do they think that the market's going in the next 3 years? Talk people. Talk people.
So good.
Just so you know, I've never brought up EXP to somebody. They always bring it up to me. I wait. I just don't bring it up. The problem is you guys think you're going to sell something. I don't sell them anything. Guy, if you haven't heard me talk before, but if you read my Covey book that I got upstairs, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, there's a chapter in there that I cut out and I had in front of me for 3 years. Because, dang it, here I am supposed to be a recruiter for Keller Williams. And man, Patsy, I love Patsy. She's at Remax. I've known her forever. I want her to come to Keller Williams, and she won't come, right? Or, you know, Aaron and I, we're golfing buddies, and well, the reason they don't even talk about it, here's why I'm good at it. I kept it up there forever. There's a gate of change. No amount of persuasion, great scripts, great timing, scripts, I hate scripts. Great scripts, all this stuff can make the gate even open. The gate of change can only be opened from what? The inside. I'm really good at waiting for the gate to be opened.
That's good.
So when they say, Gene, how do you like it at EXP? Gates open. See, I don't do this. Boom, boom. Don't you know, no. When the gates opened is when I start talking, when I start doing anything. Ben, our buddy Ben, God bless him, from KW, remember? Ben called me. He bought my old company from me. And Ben calls me. Ben calls me and says, Gene, I'm ready to talk. And it was a Saturday morning. I'd known the guy for 10 years. I recruited him in 1990. It was now 2000. And I didn't call him and say, I want to tell you about EXP. I didn't call him. And he finally called me. Said, time to talk. We spent all day on Saturday, and guess what? Monday morning. He comes in to sign up at Keller Williams. You know what he asked the accountant? What's our commission structure? I talked for 8 hours with him. He didn't even know our commission structure. I was just solving the problems that were anchoring on his shoulder, that he was in pain. He was hurting. Isn't that crazy? That's when you're really good at this. When you're really good at this, it's all about them. Okay? This is the problem with most people. I'm telling you, when you read my book, they teach sales wrong. You guys, okay, what's your kids do? By the way, now that you're away from them, no, I'm just kidding. Your kids play soccer? Your kids play soccer?
They don't.
What do they play?
Volleyball, gymnastics.
Volleyball. Oh, my kid plays volleyball. You know, my 9-year-old's a gymnastics. See, that's what you're taught. You're taught to do what?
Mirror.
Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I'm just telling you. I don't mirror people. Now, I might do body language, right? And I might do speech patterns, but a guy comes into my office in 2006. Susan had just been diagnosed with breast cancer, and she just had it. And I tell this story because she had her head shaved. Mary Ann Collins and her went and had her head shaved, and she had a blonde wig. So I was married to a blonde. It was awesome. So she had a blonde wig on, and she was sitting right behind me because she was a team leader and I was a team leader, but she'd retired at that time. So she's sitting behind me on her computer. I can never forget. And I'm sitting at the desk, and a guy comes in and sits right here, and it's this close. I had a small office, like 8 by 10, no windows, because I didn't want. Anyway, so comes in, and guess what he says? I said, tell me about yourself. Now write that down. That's Team A. Tell me about yourself. I do it 100% of the time. Team A, tell me about yourself. Guess what he says? Oh, it's been tough. My wife has breast cancer. He talks for 45 minutes. He gets up and he leaves. He signs up. Susan turns around. She goes, you never mentioned me. She was right here. Your wife has breast cancer. My wife has breast cancer. I don't do that. I'm good. When I say that, it's not about me. If it was about me, it's just not about me, man. It's about them. Does that make sense? And I'm telling you, I think Susan had seen me interview for a long time because Susan was the broker. She was the detailed person. Believe me, she did a lot more work than I did because I just interviewed people all day and she got to do the hard stuff. So she goes, why didn't you mention me? And I said, well, honey, it's not about you. It's not about us. It's not about my soccer team. It's about your soccer team. I start talking about them and when they leave, they go, wow, that was the best interview I've ever had. I get off 3-way calls, and you know what I hear every single time? Every single time, because I have a hard time hitting the stupid button. I don't know about you guys, but I'm on my cell phone, and I'm in, and I hear Brent's guy go, he was really nice. He seemed like, and then I hear it all the time, he was very excited about this company. Right? That's all I want them to leave with. That I am so pumped up to help them with whatever they want to do, and that, you know, I am a nice guy. It kind of comes across, right? I am who I am. I'm not something different. I hope I'm a nice guy. So here's the problem with all those sales books, mirroring and all that junk, and you do that. It's wrong. When it's all about them, you got them. Shelley does it really good now. I see her all the time. Yeah. It's all about, I see Shelley doing it. She's really good. The good recruiters make it all about them, all about them, all about them, all about them, all about them. And then they go, man, that was the greatest interview I've ever had. Sometimes I don't say words. You guys, I'm talking a lot now, but sometimes I don't say anything. Tell me about yourself. 30 minutes later. I'm taking notes. By the way, write that down. You take notes. You have a notebook. Don't have a computer out. I'll give you my techniques that I've used forever. Number one, when I met people one-on-one in coffee shops, I left my cell phone in the car. I left my cell phone in the car. I wanted them to see me where everything was there. I said, is it okay if Lars, I take notes today? And they always say yes. And I write their notes. Brent and I take more notes than anybody in these things, but I take notes. Boom, 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 boom. What's your kid's name? Bing, 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 bing. I get to my car. What's the first thing I do? I text them. I text them right away. They're all sometimes not even to their car. I go, Lars, great meeting with you. I can't wait to blah, 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 blah. I'll find that out for you. And the next meeting is at blah, blah, blah. I am so quick at it. It's unbelievable. Follow up wins the game. So in law, you guys, when do I follow up? What do I say? I don't care. Seriously, to me, it's really, you get confused with a bunch of junk. When actually, whoever makes the most interviews wins the game. Right? Whoever gets them to the most events wins the game. Whoever does social media the best wins the game. Because you're trying to get leads. Am I helping you guys today? You know, I wasn't expecting to do this, but I'm going to do a flow chart for you. The only thing you should do on attraction is lead generate, invite to events, and negotiate the transition. What do I mean by negotiate the transition? The minute I hear him saying, oh, I can't move, I'm going to have to redo all this stuff, that's transition. That they're in, so I want to help negotiate the transition. If they're in Kansas City, I'm calling you, right? I'm calling you guys to help with the transition. See, I would call some of my buddies and say, could you help them? And the broker, who's the broker? Oh, you go, Maria. Oh, okay. Well, is it okay if you hook her up with the broker? And I want the transition to go as smooth as possible, right? Just so you know, here's what you don't do, and this is a problem. But I want your staff to do it. You've got to hire somebody to do this for you. I'm just telling you, this is why Brent and I are very, very successful. We stay in our strength zone. Our strength zone is to meet people, right? Right, Brent, don't you think? I mean, if I'm doing nothing but just not talking to your people and doing three-way calls, the Lord put me on earth to do this. The Lord didn't put me on to onboard people. I don't know how to onboard people. Okay? I don't know, but I want you to have somebody be really good at onboarding them, walking them through the cloud. Right? You need somebody to walk them through the cloud, because you don't want to go, oh, well, here's the info and go look it up, right? You want somebody to introduce them to the broker. Get that broker connection right away. Walk them in. I have a lot of agents, they walk them into the broker room, meet the Kansas City broker, and they start chatting, okay? You got to get this done. The key thing is, see, everything above here is what I do. Everything below here, I don't do. It's okay. I don't mow in my yard anymore. Right? Okay? I used to call it at Keller Williams the power walk. And I used to teach it because I would power walk them through our Keller Williams office. You need somebody to power walk them through the cloud.
Good.
It's called a power walk. It has to be good. See, if you have somebody doing the power walk all the time, they meet the same people all the time. Oh, hi, hey, how are you doing again? Don't change your clothes all the time. Wear the same clothes. Your same little avatar. And really, seriously, the power walk is really important. And I will tell those people in accounting what to say. I would actually go in before all this and say, here's what I want you to say to my people.
I would like to say this. I've had some people say some goofy things in the cloud. They have like 2,200 employees up there, and they hire new people. And I would definitely, when they said stuff inappropriate, I go find the department head and say, you need to go train Bob. Because Bob was freaking out of control with my client, with my power walk, right? So don't just put up with it. I absolutely would wrap them out and say, this person needs help.
Well, and the power walk's important. It's my power walk. I'm talking to the same people every time. I did it at Keller Williams. You should have seen it. It was like we were scripted. I mean, we had the same jokes. Same joke every time. Boom, boom, boom. It was weird. It was weird. I did it forever. And I go, but I taught team leaders how to do the power walk. And by the way, I only say that because I was the #1 team leader 6 times. 4 times as a team leader, twice as a regional director. But when I was a team leader, the power walk was really important. And here it has to be in the cloud. Has to be in the cloud. And the only reason I tell you that is because I want you to know it. I've been doing this a long time. I've been recruiting agents since 1989. So all I did was sell homes, and then I took my checklist and did it for recruiting. Right? That's why I want you doing one funnel. The education, in other words, what you're going to do is tell your people you're going to educate them on RevShare. You're going to be their recruiter, but everything else, go in the cloud, do all that stuff, right? So anyway, that's basically it for me as far as today. What I'll do tomorrow, I want you guys tonight, if you can do this for me before tomorrow, is write down, think strategically how much money per month you want to make. And the reason I say per month, because it's residual. And I think tomorrow I can get you there by sharing some stuff with you. But it's all personal. You don't have to share it with the group or anything. I know it's really, all that stuff's personable, but...
Thank you, Gene. Give me.
All right.